For this presentation, I will be discussing the article "The Eagle and the Elephant: Comparing Organization Culture in the United States and India." I would like to go over with you what I will be covering today in the presentation. We are going to talk about what organizational culture is and what role it plays in an organization. We will learn what types of organizations the study observed, and also how they measured their findings. We talk about the conclusions the article made based off of those findings. Individuals in society have different beliefs, values, and traditions. This is not only holds true in everyday society, it is also prevalent within an organization. An organization's cultures is the framework of the company. Organizational culture creates a guide for employees. It helps them to exist within the firm, to follow its beliefs, and to strive for a common goal. In this analysis, organizational culture is broken into 7 categories: communication, information, organizational heroes, innovative workforce, organizational diversity, architecture, attendance, and attire. The research gathered is measured based on these cultural aspects. For this study, 6 high-tech firms were observed. Of the 6 firms, 4 were based in the United States and 2 in India. 133 employees were studied, 58 men and 11 women from the United States, 29 men and 50 women from India. Roles and tenures of the participants varied, and participants were chosen by each individual firm. The researchers in the United States consisted of both faculty and graduate students from Southeastern University, and in India, graduate students of an Indian university. For this study, naturalistic observation was used to gather data. The researchers shadowed the employees, and interaction only occurred for clarification of circumstance. The researchers concluded that all firms found great value in communication. Although ways of communication varied among them, communication lines were open and available for employees to use. The 6 firms put a high value on sharing information as well. In most of the firms, information was shared through e-conferencing or presentation software. In the cultural measure of organizational heroes, differences were present. Some of the firms placed value on corporate heroes such as founders, and some placed values on companies' histories or innovations. In India, the firm placed more value on their founders, and the U.S. more on products and innovation. In the measure of innovative workforce or organizational diversity, both Indian and U.S. firms showed diversity. In the United States, the firms were diverse in terms of ethnicity and nationalities. In the eyes of Indian researchers, the firm was also diverse, being made up of several different Indian cultures. As for the architecture of the firms, all but one provided cubicles for their engineers. In the U.S. firms, cubicles were arranged by hierarchy, and in others, there was no such formation. Also, the height of the cubicles either discouraged or invited communication among the employees. With all firms allowed some personalization of the cubicles, Indian firms displayed more personal cultural display. Attendance was also measured in the study. Attendance rules among the firms varied. Some firms allowed for higher level of engineers to conduct business from home, while others required day-to-day attendance. Lastly, the participants' attire was also measured. In the U.S. firms, a corporate casual dress code was followed, which made it harder to differentiate the different levels of employee. In India, women wore more cultural attire, and men wore ties for special meetings and certain occasions. It is fair to conclude that the culture in an organization directly relates to the communication within the firm. An organization with strong culture that has an open framework allows for communication to flow freely throughout the company. The sharing of information helps to build not only relationships and camaraderie, it also allows to innovate and inspire the team. Rules for communication were understood whether they were written or not. In a strong organizational culture, the employees understand the common goals, beliefs, and values of the firm. It is important for the firm to grasp new ways to communication and to keep lines of communication open for their employees. Thank you.